right, Sky Pacha with the weekly Pele Report, and this one is for November 25th of 2020, coming into the eclipse season. Yes, indeed. The moon is in the sign of Aries right now, and tomorrow, Thursday, she goes into Taurus, and she will conjunct Uranus on Friday, opposing Venus, because we have Venus up there in Scorpio, opposite Uranus all week. Sudden unpredictable events with money and love. And this is compounded by the full moon lunar eclipse. So she moves through Taurus, and Sunday goes into Gemini, and finally on Monday we will have a lunar eclipse at 8 degrees 38 minutes. She'll be in Gemini, opposite that sun at 8 degrees 38 minutes of Sagittarius, before she moves on into Cancer on Tuesday. So besides this sun, moon, eclipse, which I want to talk about, and it's coming up even more, but I'll save it. We also have Mercury still moving through Scorpio, late Scorpio, comes into sextile Pluto on Friday, sextile Saturn on Monday, sextiling Jupiter, so he's doing the whole boardroom there. It's a very nice, powerful, deep thinking, very deep, powerful insights this week. It's very super. Last week I talked a little bit about Neptune squaring these moon's nodes. Neptune will be squaring this eclipse. It's a T-square, right? Neptune square the sun, square the moon, sun moon in opposition. Very powerful, especially as Neptune is stationary, direct, just sitting still from our perspective on planet Earth. On Saturday, Neptune will go direct. It spends about, half his time going retrograde, half his time going direct. So that is a very powerful influence going on. And I can go on, but really the other thing that I'll just mention that I'll probably talk about here a little bit is Mercury, then next Tuesday, moves into Sagittarius. Yeah, after this long sojourn of deep, intense thinking, it's going to lighten up, clear up, and hopefully present the deeper meaning and purposes behind what has been going on lately. So let me just look at the camera and talk about it. Hola. Okay. Well, let's see. This is I just want to say that the north node of the moon's in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. I'm going to be doing some talking today. And I think I'm going to start off by apologizing to my good friend Bob, who translates the Pele Report into Dutch. And when I go on for too long, his job takes hours. And so I try to keep it short, as well as considering the average attention span of most people today. It's also very short. But today there is just so much to share. I'm learning some of this myself, and I kind of learn it by speaking it. This is some things that some pieces of the puzzle that I'm just putting together now. You're the first ones to hear this one, and of course you may disagree and throw it all out, but let's dive in together to understand, okay, this eclipse, the eclipse season that's coming on, in relationship to what I've been talking in the last few Pele reports. This is the end. Remember a couple weeks ago? Do-do-do-do-do-do. I even had the cartoon, the end kind of thing going on, okay, for that. Now, and then last week, speaking of this Neptune in square to the moon's nodes, again, Neptune, Pisces, 12th house, and finish, close, complete. And as I've spoken before, and I've written in the notes, we're closing the patriarchy, 6,500 years. We're closing the Kali Yuga, 26,000 years. We're closing the Jupiter Saturn, 20 years, and Saturn Pluto, 15 or whatever. I mean, it's like we are closing, cycle upon cycle upon cycle upon cycle. This is a powerful point in the history of our entire evolution as a species. Very, very powerful times. And I have to bring in the United States because this involves the United States. Okay? Basically, we can say that this solar eclipse that's coming up on December 14th is conjunct, okay, the Mars. Sorry, opposite. It's actually the lunar eclipse that is coming up right now with the moon moving through Gemini. Okay, the United States has Mars at 21 Gemini. So the south node of the moon has been crossing over Mars. I mean the north node of the moon. I'm getting this all screwed up, sorry. But we can also, I'm looking at this because I'm also thinking about Donald Trump. Yeah, Trump was born on an eclipse. He was born on the full moon. He's got the sun conjunct the north node of the moon in his birth chart. On the United States Mars, which now the south node of the moon is crossing over. I mean, the north node of the moon is crossing over, okay? And he was born, at, like I say, on the full moon. So he's got this moon in Sagittarius. So he is going through, and he is tied into, obviously, the United States of America, right? With their Mars. Not only Mars, but the United States has Mars in Gemini square to Neptune over there in Virgo. And it's now going through also, coming up over the next couple years, Neptune in Pisces, opposite its natal Neptune, square its natal Mars. And of course, Trump is going through this whole disillusionment with Neptune coming into square his sun, moon, nodes action. But let's talk about just what this is, particularly in terms of Gemini, Sagittarius, Mercury, Jupiter. I call it the thought axis. Left brain, right brain. In the old books, they called Gemini in the third house the lower mind, Sagittarius in the ninth house the upper mind, the higher mind. The third house Gemini, third house has to do with our lower school academic education. Sagittarius is philosophy, university, PhD, higher education. So let's start out here with this Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, having to just do with deductive logic, left brain linear logic, how the left brain works. It is this consciousness that is here now, and it relates one thing to another. Okay, the analogy of I am looking at this camera, my phone. It's hooked onto this gorilla tripod that is sitting on the arm of my couch. That is then on my deck, and my deck is here in this in my lot. Okay, inside this community in Costa Rica, on planet Earth, and one thing leads to another, and the relationship of this one thing to everything else pieces the reality together. So left brain Mercury is very present in the here, in the now, in this third dimension, connected very much to the physical senses. What I see, what I hear, okay, what I touch, this is how my left brain okay, connected to the senses, organizes my reality. Now let's move around the mutable cross from Gemini over to Virgo. Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. Okay, so and this is just kind of what I came up with today because I Googled, natural law, because I'm all excited about this natural law. And what do I find? There are 7 accepted natural laws. I'm going to read them off to you just so that I don't miss any, right? The first one is vibration. Everything is vibrating. Everything is moving. Everything is attracted or repulsed, according to and with everything else. We're all molecules, beings bouncing off of each other, attracted, repulsed, but we're all vibrating constantly. This is one. The second one is relativity. Everything is relative. If you're on the 2nd floor, you're above the 1st floor. The position of the observer, okay, affects what is observed. Yeah, this is Heisenberg's principle of uncertainty. I think also ties in with this, just that we affect, right? Our position of anyway. Everything is relative. Let's just leave it at that. Polarity, yeah, polarity. Where there is light, there's dark. Positive, negative. Masculine, feminine. Day, night. We live in a conscious world of polarity. Yeah? Cause and effect. Everything that is caused produces an equal and opposite reaction. Every action, this is Newtonian, very Virgo, very Earth, very Mercury, right? Then we get into rhythm. Everything has a rhythm. The seasons have a rhythm. The day and night has a rhythm. Our life has a rhythm. Our breathing has a rhythm. It's like all of existence has all these rhythms going on. It's an intrinsic part of existence. It is a natural law, the law of rhythm. The law of gestation, that a seed will become a tree. Okay, that that everything is, every living thing is, evolving, and that actually ties into the 7th law of transmutation. It's perfect with Mercury in Scorpio right now. Scorpio is transmutation. But anyway, so we have these 7 natural laws that just have to do with the way that nature and the universe is organized. Our galaxy, moving around other galaxies, our solar system moving around the center of our galaxy. This is just like, this expands far out beyond just our human experience. So this is Mercury, 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 Mercury. Then let's go up to Jupiter and Sagittarius, which evolutionary astrology says has to do with natural law. But let's look at this natural law not in terms of physical nature, but also as human beings. Jupiter is the opposite. Sagittarius is the opposite of Gemini. So, Gemini Mercury is deductive reasoning that, but ties things together to create meaning. But at one point, it's going to say, what does it all mean? What does it all mean? Here we step out of the world and into the idea realm of intuition, of belief systems. And these natural laws have to do with morality and ethics, what each of us intrinsically as a human being knows. I know what I know without knowing how I know it. Aristotle was kind of the founder, the father of natural law, the concept or the idea of natural law. And he was saying that nature goes by its own laws, regardless of what people think. It doesn't matter what you think. This is what I love about astrology. I say, you know what? You don't have to believe in astrology. It works. It simply is. It's not a belief. It's natural laws of vibration and timing and transmutation and just blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so, but this is where we step out of. Thomas Jefferson, the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Yeah, that, every person is entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay, so we get into these moral laws. And these natural laws are moral laws that then, okay, well, if there's this natural law that we are all entitled to live, murder is not natural. Murder is against the natural laws. And then we come into Capricorn, we come into Saturn, we come into governments, we come into courts, we come into legislation that creates civil laws. Governments are here to protect the natural laws that we all intrinsically have. But then it gets into human laws, human rights. What are our human rights? It's the government's job to protect these natural laws or these natural rights to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, or to live a good and happy life or whatever. That's at least what the United States is about. But then human rights, the right to health care, the right to healthy food, the right to a clean environment, the right to da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, these are man-made laws. So what we're saying is that to the extent that man-made civil laws, they're called positive laws, reflect, are in alignment, and are born out of these natural moral laws, we come into ethical institutions. And, an example is just a speed limit. There's speed limits to protect citizens, others from other citizens who, go outside and could possibly kill someone. Age of alcohol, it's like, you have to be so old to drink. I mean, so governments create these laws. Now we're having a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction after they have both transited Pluto, right? So there has been this death of an old, and we can see the struggle right now on the streets, on our screens, the fight for human rights, and the wearing of a mask or the taking of a vaccine. These are these issues of natural law leading to natural rights, leading to human rights, leading to our government agencies or legislative bodies or court systems in alignment with truth. Jupiter, Guru, has to do with truth. Now we go into, let me just finish up with Pisces, because this is the mutable cross. Chum. Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces. And here we have Neptune, very powerful right now. And I'm going to say that these then have to do more with divine laws. I don't know. I mean, it's divine intelligence that goes beyond this, this human framework or definition. And somehow I'm going to just come up with these, these four. Basically, the first one is I exist. As a conscious being, I exist. As I can witness and observe myself, I exist. I am. That's just the first law. The second law is that all is one and one is all. All that is all that is. There's nothing outside of all that is. And all that is related to everything else that is. There is a relationship between all of existence with all of existence. How Pisces is that, baby? Number 3, what I put out comes back. Law of karma, law of cause and effect in another way. Okay, it's not just, every action creates an equal and opposite reaction. It's also to do with thoughts, maybe with vibrations, with love, with ideas, with words. I mean, it's not all just Virgo, physical, tangible. It's energetic. Yeah? So Pisces can deal more. And then the 4th law, I put up 3 fingers, that was good. And the 4th law, everything changes except the first 3 laws. These are so this is the very basic, infinite potential, infinite divine intelligence, creator, source. So, and so this, the Pisces Virgo is square to Gemini Sagittarius, right? And Gemini Sagittarius is opposite each other. So what we hope is that Jupiter rules Mercury, that we live in a moral reality and a moral truth that then directs our Mercury. But it's interesting now to have, in a way, the nodes reversed. The north node of the moon is in Gemini. So there is a strong emphasis going on here now. I don't want to say which is, I'm not going to get into evolutionary stages, which, really come into this, but this is a time period now where Mercury, as the ruler of the north node, is a very predominant energy. So it's like people are looking more through their senses, more through what they see, what they read in the immediate, and they start connecting dots according to dot. And it's the south node, okay, moving through Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, okay? I mean, so all of this, for me to come to this point and say that this is a long ending. I'm thinking of the mantra for today, and the vision that I had was just like, it's like a freight train coming into the station and slowing down and getting unloaded. This is like, the whole patriarchy, or thousands of years of, the way that we have organized our truth, our reality, our morality is coming, to a stop, and we're getting we're getting the results. And this happens over a long period of time. It's been happening through this entire year of 2020, which I have always labeled the year of transformation from death to resurrection. And when is that resurrection happening? This is what people ask me quite often. When is this going to be over? And unfortunately, it's going to drag on. And part of this dragging on, it's like, a lot of astrologers are celebrating Jupiter conjunct Saturn, okay, on December 21st, and the solstice point, and this is going to start the new cycle. But we have to really look a little closer. We have to look a little closer to say, okay, first of all, we have this lunar eclipse happening this Sunday. Then 2 weeks later, we have the solar eclipse. Okay? And let's just look at these eclipses. This is a North Node lunar eclipse. The moon is on her own North Node. This is a time where there can be a resurgence of repressed emotional patterns. The moon is the past, coming around to her own North Node. This is a time of the past emerging right up in front of our faces. This can be through confrontation. And then we have 2 more weeks, okay, as she traverses around, closes that cycle. And it's interesting because this is 11 degrees away. Okay, actually this eclipse, it's not a total eclipse, right? It's 11 degrees from the North Node. The North Node is at 20 and the moon, sun is at 8:38. But 2 weeks from now, okay, that next solar eclipse, okay, on December 11th or something, right? It's at 23 degrees. Okay. Trump has his sun at 22, his node at 21, I think, with the Mars, United States at 21, with the current South Node at 20. This is a very tight conjunction, okay? It's like what is it? That solar eclipse is like 13 minutes off of Trump's sun. So what I'm going to say is that, you know, we're going to see some, you know, he's going through some very big changes and transformations right now, and they're not done. They're not over with by any stretch of the imagination. You know, Neptune is just coming up to square really his sun and moon. Anyway, and also we just have to look at the United States for all of this. But what happens at that solar eclipse depends upon what happens at the initial lunar eclipse. When you have this resurgence of repressed emotions, okay, what do you do? How do you deal with it? Are you looking? Are you open? Are you feeling? Are you discussing? Are you sharing? Are you communicating? Or go away. It was repressed, now it's suppressed. It regurgitated automatically, but I don't like what I see, so I'm going to just absolutely throw it back in the cellar, put that lion back in the cage. So, right, if it goes back into remission or submission, or, you know, 2 weeks later, there could be a very big explosion. If it is, aha, these are old patterns, I need to change this, I need to let go of this, I need to evolve, I need to move on, well then this solar eclipse can be, you know, big, huge revelations. And of course, everybody, you know, we've got 7 billion different ways of people managing, you know, this particular time. So yeah, there's no one way or one path that's going to happen here. Some people are going to, other people are going to, aha. But then, what I see happening after that, okay, then we have the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. They both leave Capricorn. And Mercury keeps marching through Sag. Sun moves through Sag into Cap. Venus comes out of Scorpio into Sag, into Cap. And what have we got? We've got the Moon, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. All within 31 degrees of each other by the middle of January. Mark your calendars for January 13th, okay? This is super, super powerful. So, you know,
even what I'm saying is, we could say, oh yeah, Jupiter already conjuncted Saturn, or we already had the solar eclipse, okay? But what I'm saying is that everything that has been building all through 2020, it's going to be really in January of 2021 that we are really going to see the end of the, it's like, okay, the train is unloaded. Now it's time, it's going to hit the road, Jack. See what I'm saying? When that, we're going to have that, there's, by the 13th, it's a new moon, right? There's another new moon in Capricorn. It's not an eclipse, but it is a new moon. And that is really going to start everything off, and especially after Mercury and Venus pass into Aquarius. We're going to start seeing things in February are going to start moving forward. But we're in this pattern now, like, our nose is being held to our shit, It's like, okay, look at this and feel this. And, become aware of your past, of your patterns. And so this is, where the mantra, this is how the mantra emerged for me this week. And that is, the present and the future grow out of the past and all I have said and done. Owning and feeling, laughing and crying bring us together as one. And this just reminds me, it's a little hokey, man, but the songs for this week. The first one I think of is Jackson Browne, Doctor My Eyes. Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of tears without crying. Now I want to understand. I've done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can. I mean, the lyrics for that song are just like off the charts great. Yeah? And I thought of another one where it's Dave Mason. There ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy. There's just you and me, and we just disagree. This is coming out of the polarity of right and wrong and the judgment of good and bad that can lead to violence, that starts wars, that breaks people and relationships up. It's just like we're all human coming into this Pisces Neptune energy that I spoke of last week, is into a compassionate forgiveness of ourselves for not knowing, for being wrong, for acting out of our trauma instead out of our highest potential. Leads to forgiveness, compassion, and understanding, and acceptance of our brothers and sisters. As bizarre, ignorant, crazy, or nuts that we think they are, we can get out of this into the realm. This is why I put feeling in the mantra. Yeah? Owning and feeling. And of course, as this end comes by, part of this lunar energy, part of Venus and Scorpio that is letting go of some things that maybe have been cherished, have served us, have held us, have supported us. This letting go of the past isn't just some kind of a theoretical something. It can boil down to very human emotions of grief and loss, abandonment, neglect. Very deep, powerful, fundamental root chakra feelings. This volcanic lava can be emerging, okay, as the moon transits her north node for this lunar eclipse, where the earth is right in juxtaposed between the sun and the moon. Yeah! Let's all be human. And in that humanness, there is no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's degrees. There are people that do bad things, not bad people. Yeah, so there's this just kind of, we can come into this place, yes, where we come together. There's another song. All this stuff turns into songs, man. Okay. Anyway, I mean, I could go on some more, but there's always next week. For now, I want to give that mantra one more time, and that is: the present and the future grow out of the past and all I have said and done. Owning and feeling, laughing and crying, bring us together as one. May you come together as one, whether it's Thanksgiving or not, whether it's the holidays or not. May we all come together as one. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.